Hey everyone, Walsh here from Thin Line Defense, and today I'm bringing you a tactical glove shootout. Now I don't know about you, but I've seen a ton of these tactical gloves out there, and I never know what's good and what's useful and what I actually want. So I have a whole bunch of gloves here, and I'm going to go over all of them with you, and then score them in 4 different areas, from price, fit, durability, and protection. Hopefully I have all the gloves that you're looking for, but let me go over the ones we're going to be comparing today. So we'll be starting with the Pig Alpha glove. Then we'll compare the Kryptek Kottos glove. Next we have the 511 Station Grip gloves, following by the Viktos Wartorn gloves. Then we have the popular Mechanix Fast-fit, along with the Mechanix Impact. And then we'll round things out with the Helikon-Tex Tactical Range gloves. Alright, so checking out those Pig Alpha gloves, let's start with price. Now the first thing I'm going to tell you, these are probably the most expensive from the group, and these are about $45 to $50 for a set, particularly if you're going to get them in multicam. You got to pay a little bit extra. Alright, let's go through the fit, and I'll go through what I like about these gloves and if they're worth the price or not. Similar to most of the others, they have the pull tab. Now, these don't have the cool thing like with the Helikon-Tex where they have the extra piece of fabric here, but I found it wasn't really an issue. I could easily just flick these off and they come right off, so it hasn't been a problem. I like these ones still too. Same as before, it has the hook. So this hook is actually designed to go more up and over instead of outward, so I do like the way this is designed too. It's just less fabric to have. These are easy to put on, but they're designed to fit tightly. So you kind of got to spend a second and really put them on, and then once you fit them onto you, these fit phenomenally. Now, the fit on these is just amazing. This is just like the skin on my hand. I probably couldn't tell you the difference, and I'm excited to do some of the dexterity tests with it. But with that, what's the grippiness look like? Very little. It's grippy enough to hold on to something, but once these get wet, they don't give you a whole lot. They also have, in order to retain some feeling, they have all these holes built in them. So whenever you touch anything wet, guess what? It's gonna go inside your finger too. So that's where these struggle a bit, and we'll go through it more as we go through the review here. So let's talk about these in terms of protection then. Again, same with the Helikon-Tex, very little. They offer you a little bit more padding on the front of the knuckle. If I were to crack my knuckles onto something, I would probably know it, but it probably wouldn't hurt that bad. Back of the hand, no real protection. Front of the hand, no real protection. Some of this is reinforced, but it's really not gonna help you all that much. Maybe it'll prevent a knife or something for a second or two, but that's about it. Almost all the other gloves, I've taken them out for a run out in the cold, and they've been able to keep my hands quite warm even when it's out in like 20 degrees. These ones though do particularly poor out in the cold because there's so many holes in the actual glove that's designed to give you that feeling back. So what happens is all that cold and all that moisture just goes straight into the skin on your hand. They don't keep you warm. These are 100% designed to give you as much feeling as possible. So now we come into the durability. I have to say, this is where these gloves really just fall apart. These are my absolute favorite range gloves, just because you maintain all of that tactileness on the rifle and on the trigger or working with pistols. You don't have all this extra fabric everywhere, but it doesn't really protect you from that much temperature. Like I really wouldn't recommend using these to remove a hot silencer. You probably still end up burning yourself pretty bad. But I have to fix these gloves all the time. I don't really wear them that much, but I constantly have loose stitches that come out, and I have to find a way to fix them. And I like them so much, and they're so expensive, that I have to spend a good bit of time fixing them because they're worth it. But it also makes them not my favorite glove. I know that if I really want to go shooting and I need to wear gloves, these are the ones I want to wear. But if I don't absolutely need them, I don't need this level, I'm going to wear something else. I wish these were more durable so I could wear them all the time. I wish I didn't have the holes in them too. I don't need all that. I need to protect my hand from the cold. All right, so let's see how well each one of these gloves does in the grip department to help me hold and maintain my grip. So I grabbed some snow. I don't do this for each one of them, to simulate that the gloves would be a little bit wet. And man, on these Pig Alpha gloves, that's freezing cold. I can tell you right now, there's nothing grippy at all helping me with these gloves. I can just feel my hands instantly slipping, and there's nothing on these fabrics that's helping at all. Nope. Yeah. All right, so now that we've done a bit of a grip test, let's go and do a dexterity test and try to tie a couple knots with the different kinds of gloves. This could prove to be interesting. All right, so let's start out with the butterfly knot and see what we can do with these. And like I said, it's pretty easy to move around the rope and everything with these, if I don't mess up the rope here. But you can see, super easy to use these gloves. Here we'll use a bowline, just make the slip knot, and just make a bite on the end here. And you can see these gloves make it really easy to move around with. And then we'll finish out with just a quick square knot. I could just get this over here, flip it under, and look at that. Super easy to do. All right, next let's do the Kryptek Kottos gloves. Now, I don't think these are nearly as popular. I don't really see these online very much, and they actually may have discontinued these. But they're a little bit more pricey. I got these for about $37 or $38, so a little more expensive. They're definitely a different material. They're almost entirely this stretchy material that you'll see Kryptek normally do. So it's not like your regular cloth, so that does remove some of the durability. I'm going to show you some of that. But first, like we've been doing, let's go into the fit and see how these do. These also have the pull tab, but I'm going to tell you this is a little bit frustrating because it's so small and so low to it that it's very difficult to get onto it, and it's so thin you don't know when you've really got a hold of it in order to loosen it from the strap. When you have both gloves on and you're trying to do that, it's nearly impossible with these gloves. Also, they have what I would consider to be the world's smallest pull tab, and I don't know what they did this for, what exactly that hooks into. I can't even hook that to a belt. I really do like these gloves, but I can't carry them on a belt or do anything with them, so it really kind of limits my use of these. Putting these gloves on, this elastic wrist, it doesn't give you a whole lot of give, so you definitely got to fight it to put it on, but once you do, the glove fits on you extremely tight. Now I want to say I think this is going to do very, very well in the dexterity test. The fit is fantastic. There's almost no extra fabric on any of my fingers, so it really just feels like I don't really have any gloves on due to the tightness and that different type of fabric that these gloves use. It has a spot where the knuckles break, where the fabric actually bends over and you can see the gaps in the fabric to let your knuckles turn easily. So let me talk about the grippiness of these. So it's got this nice leather pad on the inside. Now, I don't know about you guys, but water and leather just makes slippery leather. So it doesn't really add much grippiness to these gloves. Plus, again, we got this suede material. These gloves are not grippy. They're not really grippy at all. They're tactile, like you can feel a lot of what you're feeling, but if I'm trying to really hold on to something, I wouldn't have much faith in it. I would be worried it would come slipping out of my hands with these gloves. We'll see how they do during that test. So protection on these gloves, all they really have are these like oddly placed knuckle protectors, which is slightly weird because my knuckles are up here and these things are down here. So maybe they're just trying to protect my knuckle bones. I don't know. I don't know what exactly they're aiming for, but it seems like that's where they want them to be, which is a little bit confusing, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me if I'm crazy. My knuckles are up here, so I don't know what these are protecting. The leather is there, so in terms of like cutting or scraping something, the leather is good at preventing that, but if you were to have anything come across the backside, this material is extremely thin. These would be torn up on the backside extremely quickly, but the stitching on all the other areas is very thick. So I don't think they'd come apart from use, but they would definitely come apart if you were to have anything come across the back or touch any of that thinner material that's on top of the glove. So that kind of leads me into durability. I haven't got to use these a ton, but I can't imagine they would be ultra durable. They would be fairly durable, but I don't think they'd survive the test of time. Eventually these gloves would break down simply because that material just isn't designed to just take a ton of wear. I would bet I'm gonna lose something somewhere on this fancy Kryptek material. All right, I got some more snow with these. There's no holes in them, so I don't feel it. Like I'm freezing cold or anything. Rub it in, get it nice and wet. Okay, so I can tell you right now, the grippiness of that leather on the inside is making a good bit of difference compared to the other ones. My hands just aren't instantly slipping, and I think it would be more of an issue of my grip strength than it's going to be the actual grippiness of the actual gloves. So I think my strength would give out before the actual gloves would slip out from underneath me. It's kind of surprising. Oh, these ones also don't have any sort of touchpad, which is super frustrating because I can't use them to focus the camera. Again, we'll do our butterfly knot here, just doing a dexterity test. It's really easy to move the ropes around, not a problem at all. Simple and easy to do, gloves don't get in the way at all. Again, we'll do our bowline, start with our slip knot, put our bite through, if I can just get my own finger out of the way. Here we go. And good to go. Gloves easy to use. And again, we'll finish out with the square knot. This is actually pretty easy with these gloves. Not a problem. Well, if I can figure out how to tie a knot. There we go. So I've had these 511 gloves for quite some time. I think they did an update on these since I've had them, but I don't have the new ones, so I'll just compare these ones. So first let's start with price. I think nowadays you can get these for about $25, which makes these a really good value. For a tactical glove, 25 bucks is a pretty good deal. So let's start with fit. So one of the nice things that these gloves do have is it has like a quick tab that you can do to actually open and close the gloves. It seems like a small addition, but a lot of them don't have that. It also has a place where you can hang your gloves off of your belt, and it makes for a nice pull tab whenever you actually go to put the gloves on. Now, when it comes down to fit though, you tighten it all down, the gloves fit a lot like Mickey Mouse mitts. Now you see how large my fingers are. They're not normally that big, and these gloves are a bit ridiculous. If you think you're gonna go shooting well in these, you're gonna have an interesting experience. But here's where we get into the grippiness of it, you know, kind of into that fit. They're extremely grippy. They have that really grippy, like, what are those, like those raptor grips? Is that what those are called? Anyway, it's got this really nice grip on the inside. So if these gloves were to be wet, they would be very easy to still use. I could pick up cinder blocks with this. I could pick up anything jagged or sharp. I wouldn't have to wear anything. So the durability of these gloves is probably the highest out of all of them here, but also with the actual tactile, like how much I can feel, would also probably be the lowest. In terms of tactical gloves, I don't think this would be the best choice. This would be more if you're doing some hard work, you're picking up and dealing with some hard concrete or different odd-shaped, sharp objects. Just dealing with firing a weapon, I think you're gonna lose out a lot using these. All right, here we have my Mickey Mouse 511 gloves. Yeah, I can't feel that there's even a ball of snow in my hand. So from terms of cold protection, yeah, I don't even know it's there. I can't sense anything, but I can't sense anything at all really in my hands, period. So these have an actually absolutely amazing grip. I could probably let go. I'm not really even holding on with my hands very much at all, and the gloves themselves are what's holding me in position. So that's what's so awesome about these. You gain a lot of grip with these 511 grip station. You do, you absolutely do. But you lose a lot of dexterity in your hands. Yeah, these are nice. You definitely have some grip. All right, so this is going to be interesting. Let's try a butterfly knot with Mickey Mouse gloves on. If I can just stay under. Okay, I just got to get this. You stay. You come under here. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. We accomplished it. Wow. Okay, now bowline. We'll do the slip knot here, and then. Okay, stuck to my glove. Okay, come over here. Now do the bite. If you go through slowly, okay, come on. There we go, got the bite. Now pull this. Whoa, it's tricky. Okay, so now we can do this square knot. Just take our time, go nice and slow. Everything is just sticking to the glove. You just have to, I can't feel anything. This is horrible. All right, now let's take a look at the Viktos Wartorn. Now, these Viktos Wartorn, you may have seen these on like Instagram or something like that. They have the cool little letters where you can put things on there. So if you want, you can put your own immature wording on there, which I did a few times when I first got them. But these are about $40, $50. So they're a little more pricey, but you get a lot of features with that price. And now we start getting into more realistic tactical gloves. So let's try them on for fit, and I can show you some of the features like we've been doing. So again, like most of the others, these have a nice pull tab. Now what I do like about these is it's very easy to get a hold of. It has a very large pull tab, so I don't have any trouble getting it whenever I'm using the gloves or not. It's easy to get on that tab to pull the gloves over. Again too, it also has the hook, so you can hook them into your belt or whatever you need to, and then it makes it easy to put them on or take them off. Now, let me disclose that I really like these gloves. Now, for fit wise, I like, again, how I can tighten them down because then I can get them into position on my hand. There's not a whole lot of extra material. They are a larger glove, so you gain a little bit of protection and you lose a little bit of that tactileness that comes in some of those thinner gloves. But I found that it's that perfect mix between the two. I really, really like these gloves. Having all these gloves, I really, really love these. I think they're just a great middle ground in all the different things I'm looking for. But I want to show you all the different ones so then you can decide what works best for you. So one of the things I really like about these gloves, it has these cool little grippy pads on here, which are like having little suction cups. So it really makes you have some confidence in what you're holding on to. I really was kind of surprised by how well they actually worked. I do think though, if I were to be out working with something like concrete or rocks or some more sharp edges, it's going to scrape these right off. So I would be careful with that if you're going to use these. So then looking at protection, it has some cool little leather pads here that actually will protect your hand from any of different things you may be striking your thumb with. I do also like that it has these knuckle protectors, and interestingly they actually do protect your knuckles instead of just the front of my finger bones. It also does have a nice pad on the back, so I don't know how many of you have accidentally struck the back of your hand with the tool, but it feels fantastic. It has the knuckles that actually break, so it has the fabric underneath, so it doesn't pull at you when you actually go to make a fist. These are really nice. I do also like the childish letters that I can use on these. From a tactical glove standpoint, these work very well. I find they meet all of my needs. Also, on top of the grippy pads, they actually have things where you can use to activate a cell phone, so you can use your finger or your thumb in order to activate that. I use my phone so much if I'm recording or talking to someone that I'm going to need that in a glove, so it becomes very important. This is just an all-around great range glove. I really do like this. They did a really good job on this. All right, so now we got our Viktos Wartorns, and cold test is pretty good. Can't really tell that I'm holding anything cold. It's not seeping into my hand yet, which is great. I'm not just suddenly getting this cold, wet inner hand like some of the other gloves were doing, which is nice. Yeah, not so bad. As I said, those grip pads on the fingers, they're awesome. So the others are trying to achieve the grip through the actual material on the palms, where what's interesting is these are actually using the grip on the fingers. So I can actually loosen my grip a good bit, and the actual gloves, again, like the 511s, are holding me in place, but I don't have that Mickey Mouse hand grip like with those gloves with that super thick fabric. Yeah. These are fantastic. I can hold here all day. Alright, let's see what these Viktos do on the butterfly knot, if I could actually get it wrapped around my hand properly. Alright, so let me just move these out of the way, flip this underneath. Oh, look at that. No problem. Just stuck on my glove a little bit. And good to go. Alright, now we do the bowline. And first we're going to start with the slip knot, and then we're going to put... Okay, so those little sticky pads are sticking to everything, so it's making it a little more tricky than I thought it would. But that's not so bad. Now we'll do the square knot. And if I... Okay, stop sticking to that. Okay, nope, come here. Now do stick to it. Okay, come over here. Yeah, the sticky pads are making this a little more challenging than I thought it would. That's interesting. But these are really nice gloves, though. There we go. So next, let's take a look at the Mechanix Fast-fit gloves. So the Mechanix Fast-fit gloves are extremely popular, and I think that's because of the price. And this is where it does gain a lot of points. The price of these is about $14.99. Sometimes you can find them a little bit cheaper, but that's about what I find them for. As a set of like burner gloves, these aren't so bad, but as an actual like tactical glove, these really aren't the best choice. Now let me kind of go through the fit of them, and then we'll go over some of the protection and the durability. So first off, talking about the fit of these gloves. Now what you're going to notice is, unlike the 511, there's no way to really tighten down the wrist. So it is just kind of what it is. It does have a cool hook to hold onto where you can hook onto your belt and you can use it to put on those gloves quickly. Now when they say fast fit, that's true. You can put them on extremely quickly. If the #1 goal of whatever you're doing is to just put on gloves as fast as you can, well then these are going to work perfectly for you. But they're not a great fit. They're a fast fit. They just don't fit my hand very well. They're just very sloppy. There's a lot of room in between the fingers. There's not a lot of feeling. This material, unlike the 511, is very smooth. Think of it like, it almost feels like a suede. And when you go to try to hold on to something, it doesn't give you much confidence that it's gonna keep you in place. There's no grippy pad, there's no anything to help you hold on. This glove doesn't give me a lot of confidence. This is a good glove if I was like gonna rake the yard. So durability of these gloves. So I've used these a good bit, mostly raking the yard, and I haven't had any issues with any of the seams or anything come apart. These gloves that I have are actually fairly used and they look almost brand new, so that's good. Some of the suede starts to wear off or whatever that material is and makes it even more slippery, but overall they don't wear very quickly. They don't just get torn up from one-time use. I've been pretty happy with it. Now, when it comes down to protection, there's about zero. There is no protection here. If you're using these gloves, maybe you're turning some wrenches and you crack your knuckles on something, you're very likely to just split these gloves open and still just totally tear your knuckles up. So there's no real protection afforded here. There's not even any real padding on anything. Unlike the other gloves, it's nothing special. It's just a $10 glove. It does provide you a little bit of protection from the elements. Like, I didn't find myself getting too cold when I was out shooting with these. They're just not my ideal shooting glove. You'd still do retain some of the feeling, like you don't lose it, but there's a good bit of just glove inside of the fingertip that you just feel, and it's so bunchy and so much extra fabric that it's hard to get a good grip on the rifle or feel confident in that grip. Again, I don't really recommend these. They're an easy one though. If you just need a pair of gloves and you're gonna throw them away later, go for it. Get some fast fits. They'll be fantastic for you. All right, here we have the Mechanix Fast-fits. It actually has some pretty good cold protection. I'm barely even able to tell that I'm holding something cold. I can tell that I'm holding something wet, but now it's definitely seeping in, and I'm noticing more and more that yeah, it's cold. And it's wet. Yep, it's that same material across all the gloves that just does pretty much squat in terms of grip. I don't fall off. Alright, let's do the butterfly knot with the fast fits. And here we go, put it underneath. Okay, if I could, there's just so much extra fabric, I can't feel anything. No, grab that, get that. Yeah, give me that piece. Okay, perfect. Ta-da! We did it. All right, let's do some more of those. Now let's do our bowline. We'll do our slip knot first, come underneath, and then we'll put the bite in and through. It's just so hard to feel anything. There's so much extra fabric everywhere. And then let's do our square knot. Not too much trouble here now that I've done this plenty without being able to feel anything. All right, next, let's keep in the Mechanix line. Let's look at the Mechanix Impact gloves. So the Mechanix Impact glove is still very popular because of the price. I think this is about $25, which is still a really good value for what you get, but is it a good shooting glove? That's where things get more interesting. So let's try the next category of fit and see how they do for a shooting glove. Now, as you can see, these do have the pull tab at the bottom, so then you can actually tighten them around your wrist. And it also has the hook that I like that you can put on the end of your belt if you need to, and it also makes it easier to put the gloves on and off. So much like the fast fit, these are easy to put on. Just hold onto the pull tab and put your hand in the glove, and you can tighten them down. Now, I do actually prefer these over the fast fit. Now that may seem funny, but the fact that I can actually tighten them down around my wrist means I can get the glove in a better position. So I actually get a better fit on it too. And when it comes to actual grip, it's got an actual like grip pad on the center here that makes holding on to things easier. It's still got that same weirdo suede, but it actually does have some little touch pads where you can activate your phone, so you can actually still talk to people when you're trying to do things out on the range. So the fit of these is actually pretty nice, but there's still the issue of bunchy fabric. If you want to use a very small pistol, you're going to have issues with this. It's going to be difficult to do very small tactile movements with these gloves. So next category, protection. What can I say? It's got a ton. It's got this rubbery whatever on the back and on the fingers. I have no worry about smashing my hand into something. I could probably be just working on a car or whatever I need to, just all willy-nilly. And if I go smashing my hand around, it'll be nice and protected and I really don't have to worry about that. In the world of working on cars, that's fantastic. In the world of tactical shooting, is that needed? Not really. But one interesting thing they did is they didn't add it on the actual shooting finger. So you don't have a whole bunch of extra fabric and whatnot inside the actual trigger guard. So I didn't have any issues shooting with these either. I found these to be really nice. They're a little bit too much. Like, you don't really need all this, but if we were going to go super extreme, yeah, why not? If you're going to go running around out and about outside, these are a great choice. I really do like these, and they're not expensive. Textile wise, they don't have the fabric that goes all the way over the finger, but there's not nearly as much fabric that's just jamming up on your finger. I don't really feel like I can't feel any sensations. We'll see how we do in the dexterity test on these though. So last one, durability. Yeah, these are awesome. I could probably stab these with a knife. They have so many extra layers of protection, from like extra leather padding on the palm of my hand and in the center of my hand, and then all the extra protection on the back of my hand. And there's even some extra padding on the back of your hand. So there is a lot of extra protection that adds to the durability also of this glove. I've used these gloves a ton, and these in no way, shape, or form have started to fall apart, nor do I have any sort of loose areas on them that I've had to fix. All right, here we are with the Mechanix Impacts. Cold resistance is good. I can barely tell I'm holding anything cold. That's fantastic. They don't seem like they're getting wet. My hands aren't starting to freeze all of a sudden like a couple of the other gloves have been doing. So yeah, I know these aren't designed for cold, but it kind of gives you a quick idea of what they do out in the cold. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, yes, so these have slightly different material, and like some of the others, they grip very well. I don't know why so many companies are using that suede type material for the grip in their gloves, because it just doesn't work. As you can see here, my hands are going to give out far before the gloves are just going to start to let go. So I am feeling it a little bit though. They're not as grippy as the 511s obviously, but they're still good. Alright, let's see how these Mechanix Impact do with the old butterfly knot. So if I can just get this situated. Okay, here we go. Run it through the center. And then grab hold here. And, okay, goodness. I have... There's so much extra glove here. Alright, get under there. Okay, come over here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that mess. Alright, we got it though. Alright, now the bow line. Here we go. We're going to do our... Okay, we're going to do our slip knot, and then put our bite through, put our bite through here. Goodness. There we go. Okay. It's just very large. It's very hard to do very small things with these. There we go. And we accomplished the task. Poorly. Alright, now we'll finish off with the square knot. Just got to kind of weasel this over here. And okay. Just so much extra stuff everywhere. Just grab that. Just grab it. There we go. Okay. Alright, next let's look at the Helikon-Tex Tactical Range glove. Alright, so I actually had never heard about these, and Cody actually let me borrow these to try out. Now, I do want to say the size of all of the other gloves that are on here are actually size large, and these are the only ones that are mediums. Obviously, they're for Cody, so they're going to fit a little bit different, but just know that the fit of these is going to be based off of a medium. Now, price-wise, these are about $35, so it places them in a weird middle ground between the cheap gloves and the really nice ones. So let's try them out and see how they fit and see some of the features of them. So like I've been talking about in all these, I really like to have this wrist strap here, and they do something really smart where they actually have a little bit of extra fabric on the end, so it's really easy to grab onto. I think it's really smart that they did this, and this very small addition makes this a very smart glove already. As always though, I like to have our hook that we can put on our belt. It's big enough that we can actually use and actually connect to our belt, so that's a bonus. No point in having it if you can't use it. And also makes for putting on the glove very quick. As I said though, these are mediums, and they're designed to fit a little bit tighter than some of the others. From a fit standpoint, they fit great. I probably do need a large. From the fingers, they fit really well, but it doesn't quite come down far enough on my hand, but that's just a matter of having the wrong glove size. Now they are extremely tactile. That's one of the good things about this style of glove, is that you can really feel just about everything. They act as like a second skin, and this type of glove and also the Pig Alpha glove actually found to be a good glove liner. So you may just use these gloves and then another set of gloves on top of them. One thing I do think is kind of weird though, they have the touchpad on the birdie finger and on the thumb. I don't know who's using their phone like this. Like, I don't know. I don't like how that's set up. How's that supposed to work? So for the grippiness of this, again, it's that weird suede material, and once it gets wet, it gets super slick. So it's very tactile, but not super grippy. So be aware of that. Going into protection then. There's no protection on this. You have a little bit of protection on the knuckles. That's about it. That's all you got. So the main focus of these is to actually keep some of that tactile grip. So you're gonna really get no protection. And then we go into durability, and this glove and the Pig Alpha glove are probably going to suffer from the same thing. Now I haven't actually got to use this a ton, so I don't know about the Helikon-Tex, but the Pig Alpha gloves, their durability is about a 1 out of 10. You just wear through them, but that's just part of it. You're going to use some really thin material, and they're doing everything they can in order to get that feeling in your hand back, even when wearing a glove, and the price you pay is in the durability. So I'm interested to see. I would love to try these out for a while. We'll kind of have Cody report back and what he thinks about the durability of these, but I think they would suffer the same fate. So now, unlike the Pig Alpha gloves with all the holes in them, I'm not getting nearly as cold, but with the thin fabric, it's really not protecting me much from the elements. It's definitely still cold. Yeah, so again, whatever fabric choice they're using is just not good for grip. Again, I'm just slipping straight off those round handles. Yep. Alright, here we go with the butterfly knot. These are super simple and easy to use, and I have all my tactile function with my gloves. These are nice. Alright, here we go with the bowline. Here we go, just do our slip knot, slide through our bite. Easy to do. Keep that open in. There we go. And easy peasy. Yeah, these gloves, they're very tactile. And we're going into the square knot here at the end. Just slide this through. I'm messing this up. It's not the glove's fault. It's just me and not being able to tie a knot. So I hope seeing all the different ways, all the different dexterity tests and the grip tests and going over all the intricacies of the different gloves was useful to you. So here you can see the total scoring, kind of the overall that we gave to each of the glove throughout the review, in case you want to compare them and see which one you like best or which one would work best in your situation. I feel like I'm missing one though. Oh, okay, here we go. The Viktos Wartorn. And these are my favorite, so you can see kind of how I ranked it and why I enjoyed it so much. But you may like a different one for your uses. Hopefully now you have a better idea of which type of tactical glove would be better for you and kind of more what you're looking for. There's so many different types, so I'm hoping this helped you out. Alright, as always, I want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. You're what helps me get all these crazy, ridiculous gloves, and I love all of you that like, comment, and subscribe. Please put down your comments down below, any questions you may have, or sound off on your favorite type of glove. Alright everybody, wash out. You gotta be kidding me.